right, here it is, the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video for Monday evening, the 20th of September, 2021. We have got a packed show for you tonight on Weather Geeks. We've got a lot to talk about in the waning hours and days of summer and the start of astronomical autumn this week. Could be a bumpy ride during midweek as we transition our seasons. Let's start with a quick review of where we've been so far in September. Today tied last Tuesday for the warmest day of September so far, and this 85 today might be the warmest temperature we see until next spring. We are on quite a roll now after a cooler than average start to September. We've now had about a week and a half straight of temperatures mostly above average, putting us about 2 degrees above average for the month. That number will be cut into somewhat by some of the cooler air that's coming towards the end of this week. The other story so far in September has been the lack of rain for a lot of places. These are the numbers, of course, at the Youngstown Warren Airport as of today's climate report at about 5:15 p.m. Only 0.6 inches in the gauge at the airport, over 2 inches below average. It's been feast or famine, of course. We had a wet summer, a really wet August, and now September has been quite dry. Now, that's just one spot. That's at the airport, but across the rest of the region, we're all in a similar boat except for areas around and east of I-79 over in Mercer County. Those are areas that are a little bit closer to average, up over 2 inches worth of rain in far eastern Mercer County so far this month. But where you see these kind of bluish colors, that's, half an inch or less. So, from about the airport down through Niles into parts of the Warren area, down to Craig Beach and close to Newton Falls, and then heading down towards Sebring and Beloit and Hanoverton and New Garden and Salineville, all these places seen, barely a half an inch worth of rain, if that, so far in September, not counting what is occurring in some parts of the area as of this recording this evening. I'm recording this at 7:15. We've actually got a pretty decent cluster of downpours moving north through the area. I'll do a loop for you. There's been some lightning and thunder occasionally with this as it's been moving through Nagley and East Palestine and heading up towards North Lima and coming into Poland here just after I recorded this. And we've also got some downpours again, as of 7:16 in parts of Lawrence and southern Mercer County. This is actually with a warm front that has been ushering in the much higher dew point air. Now, we had a nice break from the muggy air over the weekend, especially Sunday, but then today dew points rose into the mid-60s, and it's not hard to find where our next big weather maker is. It's a cold front, pretty good-looking cold front out here. Big difference in the dew points on either side of this front, and no surprise with a cold front that sharp. We're seeing showers and thunderstorms and severe weather possibilities this evening. Tornado watch up towards northern Wisconsin, up towards the arrowhead of Minnesota, into the western UP of Michigan, and then a severe thunderstorm watch in yellow down through parts of Iowa, Missouri, and far eastern Kansas. All right, too many clouds tonight, but it was almost full last night. This harvest moon, the full moon is often referred to as the harvest moon in September, the nearest full moon to the start of the autumn season in the northern hemisphere, and of course, it's that time of the year. It's harvest time of the year, so it's appropriately named. Technically full tonight, but hopefully you got a good look at it last night when we had a mostly clear sky. Just a few too many clouds up there for tonight. What about rain tonight? Best chance for a couple of downpours will be here in the 7 and 8 o'clock hours, but there can be some showers here and there overnight and first thing tomorrow morning as well. As we go into the day tomorrow, the possibility will be there for some pretty heavy rain in areas to our west. So the I-75 corridor, Toledo and Cincinnati and Dayton, Lima, up to Detroit, back towards Fort Wayne, Indiana, with a lower end risk tomorrow into tomorrow night of flash flooding off to the east closer to our area. It's a low end risk, but it's not zero. There could be some pretty hefty downpours tomorrow night in our area. And then the day 3 flash flood outlook, excessive rainfall outlook, does include a medium chance of too much rain in a lot of northeast Ohio, parts of western PA, western New York as well, and this includes parts of our area. We could be dealing with some pretty hefty downpours at times on Wednesday, especially later in the day. In the meantime, Tuesday's going to be a pretty cloudy day, but not a very wet day. These will be fairly unproductive clouds. Shower here and there, but it's no sort of washout during the day Tuesday. Now, into Tuesday night, we are expecting some heavier bouts of rain when most of us are asleep, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. This cold front's going to be putting on the brakes as an area of low pressure forms along it. So it's going to take a long time for this thing to finally push through because this low is forming right along it. And this will do a couple of things. It'll slow down the front, and the presence of this low pressure system will also increase some of the atmospheric dynamics in our region for thunderstorm development. becoming more favorable second half of the day on Wednesday and into early Wednesday night. We could have some bouts of heavy rain, some thunderstorm activity, and we'll talk about the severe weather threat momentarily. This pushes out to the east on Thursday, and this will be a cool day. I mean, temperatures are going to struggle Thursday. Our coolest daytime temperatures in quite a while, with readings probably no better than the lower and middle 60s. How much rain can we expect? Here's a look at the computer model spread right now. Models are pretty tightly clustered right around an inch, but I'll tell you, this is one of those situations where an inch may be a good regional average. I'm not going to be surprised if we have some local amounts, though, 2 inches or so, if you get a couple of pretty decent downpours in your area. Again, this is from Tuesday night through essentially Wednesday evening. The rain will taper off overnight. All right, severe weather risk on Wednesday. The Storm Prediction Center in their Day 3 outlook did issue that low-end kind of 1 on a 1 to 5 scale risk for central Ohio, eastern Ohio, western PA as well. The presence of that low-pressure system is going to really enhance the wind shear above our heads. And so not only will it be possible that we could have a couple of what we call low-topped thunderstorms. These are not going to be thunderstorms that get real high in the sky, 60,000 feet. In fact, there may not be a whole lot of thunder and lightning with these. But heavy showers with possible thunder could create the possibility of wind damage. You'll notice at the bottom of the list we have isolated tornado as a possibility as well. This is one of those situations where we might have a pretty decent skinny line of storms, or maybe just some heavy showers pushing through, and little kinks, little wiggles along that line could try to spin up a brief isolated tornado. Here's a look at the wind shear as we head towards Wednesday evening. The instability is not going to be real high. We're not going to see much sun tomorrow into Wednesday in advance of these. But the wind shear is really going to be strong above our heads. So in other words, there's a big change in wind direction and wind speed as you go up in height through the atmosphere. So it's one of those situations where it's not going to be super unstable, but because of the presence of pretty high amounts of wind shear, we have to allow for that possibility of a low-end risk of an isolated tornado. Not to say that a tornado will occur anywhere in our region, but it's a non-zero chance during late Wednesday afternoon and into Wednesday evening. Speaking of Wednesday afternoon, this front is arriving right at the start of the autumn season, officially arriving in the northern hemisphere at 3:21 p.m. Sunset Wednesday evening with the rain around will be at 7:19. All right, so it's going to be cool through the weekend into early next week. I think the cool pattern sticks around maybe almost to the end of the month. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook, so today is the 20th, so this would basically be from about September 28th through the first handful of days of October. And I do think as we transition into October, a warmer pattern continent-wide is likely to transpire or take shape. And so while temperatures may struggle a bit at the end of September, as we head into October, keep in mind our averages, of course, are down in the upper 60s at the start of October. But by that point, we might have a lot of above average, warmer than average air making inroads across a lot of the lower 48 states, including around here. So we're not slipping straight into mid-fall by any stretch of the imagination. But this cool pattern, while it has some legs a little bit, it's not it's not going to last through the rest of the season. We've probably got some 70s, if not maybe a couple of lower 80s in our future as we head into early October, and 80s in early October are not all that uncommon. The average date of our last 80 around here is September 27th. So if we got an 82-degree day in early October, it wouldn't be all that terribly unusual. Precipitation-wise, we're back to a pretty dry-looking pattern, it looks like, at the end of September and into early October. All right, long video tonight. Thanks for hanging with me. I'll have more updates on the topsy-turvy weather we have coming our way over the next couple of days, online, on air, on our Storm Tracker 21 app, and everywhere else where you find our forecasts, including right here on my YouTube channel.